All right, let's get right into it. When you think about money, your mind probably jumps to math, right? Spreadsheets, complex formulas, cold, hard numbers. But what if I told you that getting good with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you behave? Yeah, the real story here is all about psychology.
And this quote just hits it right on the head. Think about it. The most important money decisions you'll ever make, they're not happening on a calculator. They're happening in conversations, driven by our very human, very messy emotions, things like ego, pride, fear, and our own personal histories. It's really a dance between simple arithmetic and complex human nature.
So, where do we even begin to unpack all this? Well, we start with a really fundamental idea. When it comes to money, no one is crazy. The decisions people make with their money, even the ones that look absolutely bizarre to us, make perfect sense to them in that moment.
I mean, just look at this. It shows how our financial DNA is basically coded by when we were born. If you came of age in the 70s, you saw stocks just explode, so you're probably pretty optimistic about the market. But if you grew up in the 50s, you saw a totally flat market for years. That's going to make you way more skeptical. Our personal experiences literally rewire how we see the world of money.
So here's the key takeaway. We're all playing a different game, with different rules shaped by our own unique view of how the world works. What looks like a crazy decision to you is probably perfectly rational to someone else because of their own life story.
Okay, so if our personal experiences are so important, what's the actual secret to building wealth? Is it about being a genius who can predict the market? Not at all. The real secret ingredient isn't intelligence or skill. It's something much, much simpler. It's time.
We all know Warren Buffett, right? One of the greatest investors ever. But we often miss the most obvious fact about him. His real secret isn't just what he invested in, it's when he started. He's been at this since he was a kid, just 10 years old. That gave the magic of compounding an almost unbeatable head start.
But get this, here's a wild twist. If you're talking about pure, raw returns, Buffett isn't actually the best, not even close. There's a hedge fund manager named Jim Simons who has compounded money at an incredible 66% a year since 1988. That completely blows Buffett's 22% out of the water. So why isn't he way, way richer? And boom, here's the secret sauce. Simons didn't really hit his investing stride until he was 50 years old. Buffett, on the other hand, has had more than double the amount of time for his money to just sit there and grow. That incredible head start made all the difference in the world. See, his skill is investing, but his real secret is time.
And just to really hammer home how powerful compounding is, look at this number. This is what Jim Simons' net worth would be if he'd started as young as Buffett and gotten his 66% return. It's a number so huge it's almost meaningless. $63 quintillion. I mean, it's just absurd. That is the unbelievable, almost magical power of time.
Okay, so we've established that time is absolutely crucial. But staying in the game for that long? Well, it isn't easy, because market returns are not free. There is a price, and you have to be willing to pay it.
This right here is a mental shift that changes everything. Most people, when they see the market tank, they see it as a fine, like a punishment for doing something wrong. But successful long-term investors, they see it totally differently. They see it as an admission fee. It's just the cost of entry, the price you have to pay to get the amazing long-term returns the market can offer. It's not a penalty, it's the ticket to the show. Now, there are two other forces at play in all of this that we tend to forget. And honestly, they're way more powerful than we like to admit. And those two forces are luck and its twin sibling, risk. Let's talk about Bill Gates. Of course he was brilliant, of course he was driven. But he also got hit by a 1 in a million lightning bolt of good luck. Back in 1968, his high school, Lakeside, was the only high school in the entire world that had a computer. That gave him a crazy head start that was pretty much impossible for anyone else to replicate. But for every story of incredible luck, there's a flip side, risk. Gates had a best friend named Kent Evans. He was just as smart, just as visionary. He probably would have been a co-founder of Microsoft. But he was struck by a 1 in a million bolt of bad luck, a fatal mountaineering accident before he even graduated high school. It's the same force, luck and risk, just pointing in opposite directions.
So how are we supposed to deal with this reality? Well, you have to understand the power of what are called tail events. This quote from Jeff Bezos, right after the Amazon Fire Phone totally flopped, it says it all. He knew that a few gigantic successes, like Amazon Web Services, would more than pay for all the smaller failures combined.
And you see this principle literally everywhere. Venture capitalists fully expect most of their investments to go to zero because they know one or two huge winners will carry the entire fund. The vast majority of Warren Buffett's wealth, it came from just a tiny handful of his 500 or so investments. The lesson here is so clear. You don't have to be right all the time. You just have to be really, really right a few times on the things that actually matter.
All of this, it brings us to maybe the most important question of all. After we understand the psychology, the compounding, the luck, and the risk, why are we even doing any of this? What is money actually for?
Well, first, we've got to understand the huge difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is visible. It's a high income, a fancy car, a big house. It's all about spending money. But true wealth, that's invisible. It's the money you don't spend. It's the assets working for you that nobody ever sees.
So, if wealth isn't really about buying more stuff, what's it for? It's for this. This is the highest dividend money pays: control. The ultimate goal is freedom. The ability to wake up one morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That feeling, that autonomy, is the most valuable thing money can possibly buy. It's worth so much more than any luxury good.
And if you don't get this, you get stuck on something called the hedonic treadmill. It's this human tendency to chase a goal, like making a certain amount of money, only to immediately move the goalpost the second you hit it. It's a never-ending trap of more that never actually leads to feeling satisfied.
Which brings us to our final thought. The how of getting rich is kind of a solved problem, right? Spend less than you earn, invest the difference wisely, and let time do its thing. But the harder question, the much more important question, is this. Do you know when you have enough? Because knowing where your finish line is and having the courage to get off that treadmill, that might just be the most important financial skill of all.